Returned for Dad's 40th birthday after 6 years away. They'd made a piñata with my photo taped to it. Birthday tradition, beating the family disappointment, Dad roared. Each relative got a turn with the bat. This is for breathing our air, my brother yelled. Even 8-year-old cousin swung. Mommy says you're garbage. I smiled while recording every second. Please, make sure everyone gets a turn. 2 weeks later, my revenge destroyed them. Now they're begging, you can't this, we're family. You think coming back now fixes anything, Alex? Dad's voice shook the air like a slammed door. I didn't come back to fix anything. I said, I came to see if you still remembered what I looked like. Mom leaned forward from across the kitchen table, lips curling. We remembered. That's why we put your face on the piñata. Laughter rippled from my brother and his wife in the corner. This is for breathing our air. My brother had yelled at Dad's 40th 2 weeks ago, swinging the bat. Even my 8-year-old cousin got a turn. Mommy says you're garbage. Now, those same people sat in front of me, shifting in their chairs because they knew I wasn't here to play along anymore. My name's Alex Carter. I'm 26. I left home at 20. Not because I wanted to, but because it was either that, or drown under the weight of being the family scapegoat. 6 years gone. 6 years of being the punchline in a family that loved tearing me down more than building me up. I'm not angry anymore, not exactly. I'm something sharper. Done. Introduce the family members. Dad, 62. Retired early after selling the auto shop, but never told me I'd been cut out of the family business. Mom, 58. Still plays the martyr while keeping every grudge alive. Ryan, 34. My brother, golden child, responsible for taking over the shop after signing my name onto a bank loan without asking. Uncle Dave, 55. The loudest during the piñata, owes me money from years ago, never paid it back. You could have called, Dad said, tone almost casual now. You could have not forged my name on a loan that tanked my credit. I shot back. Ryan leaned forward. We kept the shop alive because of that loan. No. I said, you kept your shop alive, I just paid for it. In silence. Mom cut in. Family makes sacrifices, Alex. Funny. I said, I've never seen any of you sacrifice a damn thing for me. The room tightened, but it wasn't just the tension. It was like the air itself had decided to pick sides. Ryan's jaw flexed so hard, I thought his teeth might crack. His wife shifted in her seat, avoiding my eyes, like if she looked at me too long, she'd catch my anger like a disease. You left, Alex. You don't get to lecture us about loyalty. His voice had that smug confidence, but his eyes kept flicking toward Dad, waiting for backup. I leaned forward just enough for my words to land between us like a knife on the table. I didn't leave, Ryan. You all pushed, shoved, until there was no air left for me to breathe. Loyalty isn't about staying in the same house. It's about not setting fire to the people you claim to love. Silence. Even the kitchen clock seemed to hold its tick. I didn't want to remember, but it came anyway. That 19th birthday. Rain slicked my jacket until the cold slid through me like needles. I stood outside the shop, palms pressed against the locked glass door. Inside, Dad was smiling. The kind of smile I'd tried for years to earn. The keys, my dream, sat in Ryan's hand. They clinked together like coins in a jar, the sound cutting through the glass. They saw me. They just turned their backs. I'd walked home that night with wet shoes and a hollow chest. I told myself it was fine, that maybe my turn would come. It never did. I leaned back now, the memory still echoing in my ribs. Do you want to know why I came back? They all stilled. The kind of stillness predators have before the trap snaps shut. 2 weeks ago, after your little piñata stunt, I filed a report. Ryan's smirk faltered. What report? The forged loan papers. The bank has them now. They're investigating. Ryan blinked fast, like the words were bees circling his head. Alex, you don't understand. No, I cut in. You don't understand. You didn't just tank my credit. You buried my future so you could save your shop, and now the dirt's coming off the grave. Dad's voice cracked, a sound I'd never heard. This will ruin us. I met his eyes. It already ruined me. This just makes it official. Mom stood so fast her chair screeched against the floor. You're destroying your own family. Her finger shook as she pointed at me. No, I said, calm as if I'd practiced this line for years. I'm ending the tradition of destroying me. Ryan slammed his fist on the table. The coffee mugs rattled. His wife jumped. You think you're some kind of hero? You're just petty. Heroes save people, I said. I'm saving myself. Dad's eyes stayed locked on the table, not moving, not defending, and that was louder than any yell. Uncle Dave mumbled something about needing a smoke, but his eyes darted like a man checking for exits. He slipped out, the door clicking softly behind him. The sound felt final, like a chapter ending. By the time the shouting died, only Dad and I were left. He didn't look up right away. His hands were clasped so tight his knuckles were bone white. When he finally spoke, his voice wasn't sharp. It was tired. I should have protected you. The words landed like a stone in deep water, heavy, sinking, rippling through everything. It wasn't an apology, not fully, but it was the first crack in the wall he'd built between us. I stood. I'm not here for apologies, Dad. I'm here to stop pretending this is a family worth bleeding for. I walked out. The cold air hit my face, sharp and clean. And for the first time in my life, I wasn't running away. I was walking towards something. The weeks that followed were a blur. Lawyers' voices echoing in my voicemail, relatives trying every trick in the book. Guilt, pity, rage. I didn't block them. I didn't argue. I just didn't answer. I picked up more shifts at work, fixed the dent in my old truck, painted the apartment walls a color I actually liked. For the first time, my life didn't feel like a borrowed room. Some nights I'd think about Dad's words. Maybe he'd finally seen the truth. Maybe not. Forgiveness, I realized, isn't a gift you hand to the person who hurt you. It's a door you unlock for yourself, so you can walk out and never look back. If they change, they know where to find me. If they don't, I've still got my peace. And this time they can't take it. If you were in my shoes, would you have done the same, or would you have walked away and let them keep their secrets? Drop your thoughts in the comments. I read everyone. If you've ever stood up to family betrayal, your story matters here. Subscribe for more real-life stories that cut deep. And if you're still carrying the weight of someone else's mistakes, maybe today's the day you set it down.